Welcome back. We're on Genesis 44, picking up on verse 16. At this, Judah exclaimed, "What can we say to my master? What can we speak? And how can we prove ourselves righteous? The true God has found out the error of your slaves. Here we are slaves to my master, both we and the one in whose hand the cup was found." However, he said, "It is unthinkable for me to do this. The man in whose hand the cup was found is the one who will become a slave to me." Oh, snap. "As for the rest of you, go up in peace to your father." Judah now came near to him and said, "I pray you, my master, please let your slave speak a word in the hearing of my master, and do not let your anger grow hot against your slave, because it is the same with you as with Pharaoh." My master asked his slave, saying, "Do you have a father or a brother?" So he said to my master, "We do have an aged father and a child of his old age, the youngest, but his brother is dead, so that he alone is left of his mother, and his father does love him. After that you said to your slaves, 'Bring him down to me with that I may set my eye upon him.' But we said to my master, 'The boy is not able to leave his father. If he did leave his father, he would certainly die.' Then you said to your slaves, 'Unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you may not see my face any more.' And it came about that we went up to your slave my father, and then told him the words of my master. Later our father said, 'Return, buy a little food for us.' But we said, 'We are not able to go down. If our youngest brother is with us, we will go down, because we are not able to see the man's face in case our youngest brother is not with us.' Then your slave my father said to us, 'You yourselves will know that my wife bore but 2 sons to me. Later the one went out from my company, and I exclaimed, "Ah, he must surely be torn to pieces, and I have not seen him till now. If you were to take this one also out of my sight, and a fatal accident were to befall him, you would certainly bring down my gray hairs with calamity to Sheol. And now, as soon as I should come to your slave, my father, without the boy along with us, when that one soul is bound up with this one soul, then it is certain to occur that as soon as he sees that the boy is not there, he will simply die, and your slaves will indeed bring down the gray hairs of your slaves, our father, with grief to Sheol. For your slave became surety, for the boy went away from his father, saying, 'If I fail to bring him back to you, then I shall have sinned against my father forever.' So now please let your slave stay instead of the boy as a slave to my master. The boy may go up with his brothers, for how can I go up to my father without the boy along with me? For fear that I may look upon the calamity that will find out my father." That's sad. Oh, poor old man. He wants his baby boy. Okay, Genesis 45. At this, Joseph was no longer able to control himself before all those who were stationed by him. So he cried out, "Have everybody go out from me." And no one else stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he began to raise his voice in weeping, so that the Egyptians got to hear it, and Pharaoh's house got to hear it. Well, so much for sending everybody out so they didn't hear it. Finally, Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers were unable to answer him at all, because they were disturbed by reason of him. So Joseph said to his brothers, "Come close to me, please." With that they came close to him. Then he said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. But now do not feel hurt, and do not be angry with yourselves because you sold me here. Because for the preservation of life God has sent me ahead of you. For this is the 2nd year of the famine in the midst of the earth, and there are yet 5 years in which there will be no plowing time or harvest. Consequently, God sent me ahead of you in order to place a remnant for you men in the earth, and to keep you alive by great escape. So now it was not you who sent me here, but it was the true God, that he might appoint me a father to Pharaoh, and a lord for all his house, as one dominating over all the land of Egypt. Go up quickly to my father, and you must say to him, 'This is what your son Joseph has said. God has appointed me Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not delay, and you must dwell in the land of Goshen, and you must continue near me, and you and your sons, and the sons of your sons, and your flocks and your herds, and everything you have. And I will supply you with food there, for there are yet 5 years of famine, for fear you and your house and everything you have may come to poverty. And here your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin are seeing that it is my mouth that is speaking to you. So you must tell my father about all my glory in Egypt and everything you have seen, and you must hurry and bring my father down here.'" He wants to see his dad. Then he fell upon the neck of Benjamin his brother, and gave way to weeping, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. And he proceeded to kiss all his brothers and to weep over them, and after that his brothers spoke with him. And the news was heard at the house of Pharaoh, saying, "Joseph's brothers have come." And it proved to be good in the eyes of Pharaoh and his servants. Accordingly Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Say to your brothers, 'Do this: load your beasts of burden, and go enter the land of Canaan. And take your father and your households, and come here to me, that I may give you the good of the land of Egypt, and eat the fat part of the land. And you yourself are commanded, do this: take for yourselves wagons from the land of Egypt, for your little ones and your wives, and you must lift your father on one and come here. And do not let your eye feel sorry over your equipment, because the good of all of the land of Egypt is yours.' Follow that the sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to Pharaoh's orders, and gave them provisions for the way. To each of them he gave individual changes of mantles. But to Benjamin he gave 300 silver pieces and fine changes of mantles. He's showing some love to his brother Benjamin. And to his father he sent as follows: 10 asses carrying goods, things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses carrying grain and bread and sustenance for his father for the way. Thus he sent his brothers off, and they proceeded to go. However, he said to them, "Do not get exasperated at one another on the way." And they began going up out of Egypt, and at length came into the land of Canaan to Jacob their father. Then they reported to him, saying, "Joseph is still alive, and he is the one dominating over all the land of Egypt." But his heart grew numb, because he did not believe them. When they went on speaking to him all of Joseph's words that he had spoken to them, and he had got to see the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father began to revive. Then Israel exclaimed, "It is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. Let me go and see him before I die." Oh, he's gonna see his son. Okay, Genesis 46. Accordingly, Israel and all who were his pulled out and came to Beersheba, and he proceeded to sacrifices to the gods of his father Isaac. Then God talked to Israel in visions of the night and said, "Jacob, Jacob," to which he said, "Here I am." And he went on to say, "I am the true God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I shall constitute you there in a great nation. I myself shall go down with you to Egypt, and I myself shall surely bring you up also. And Joseph will lay his hand upon your eyes." After that Jacob got out of Beersheba, and the sons of Israel continued transporting Jacob their father and their little ones and their wives into the wagons that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. Further, they took along their herds and their goods, which they had accumulated in the land of Canaan. Eventually they came into Egypt, Jacob and all his offspring with him. He brought his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, even all his offspring with him into Egypt. It's pretty cool. Now these are the names of Israel's sons who came into Egypt. Jacob and his sons. Jacob's firstborn was Reuben, and the sons of Reuben were Hanok and Palu and Hezron and Carmi. And the sons of Simeon were Jemuel and Jamin and Ohad and Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of Canaanite woman. And the sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. And the sons of Judah were and Onan, and Shelah, and Perez, and Zerah. However, and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Perez came to be Hezron and Hamul. And the sons of Issachar were Tola and Puva, and Eob and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun were Sered and Elon and Jehuel. Interesting. I wonder if Elon Musk knows his name is biblical. These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Padaram, together with his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and of his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad were Ziphion and Hagi, Shuni and Esbon, Eri and Erodi, and Areli. And the sons of Asher were Imnah and Ishva, and Ishvi and Beriah. And there was Serah, their sister. And the sons of Beriah were Heber and Malachel. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to his daughter Leah. In time she bore these to Jacob, 16 souls. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, were Joseph and Benjamin. And there came to be born to Joseph in the land of Egypt Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, the priest of On, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela and Becher, and Ashbel, Gera, and Naaman, Ehi and Rosh, Mupim and Hupim, and Ard. These are the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob. All the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan were Hushim. And the sons of Naphtali were Jahzil and Guni and Jezer and Shilem. These are the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to his daughter Rachel. In the time she bore these to Jacob, all the souls were 7. All the souls who came to Jacob into Egypt were those who issued out of his upper thigh. Aside from the wives of Jacob's sons, all the souls were 66. And Joseph's sons who were born to him in Egypt were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob who came into Egypt were 70. And he sent Judah in advance of him to Joseph to impart information ahead of him to Goshen. A giant family reunion. After that they came into the land of Goshen. Then Joseph had his chariot made ready and went up to meet Israel his father at Goshen. When he appeared to him, he at once fell upon his neck and gave way to tears upon his neck again and again. Finally Israel said to Joseph, "This time I am willing to die, now that I have seen your face, since you are still alive." Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "Let me go up and report to Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and my father's household who were in the land of Canaan have come here to me. And the men are shepherds, because they became stock raisers, and their flocks and their herds, all they have brought here. And what must occur is that when Pharaoh will call you and actually say, 'What is your occupation?' you must say, 'Your servants have continued to be stock raisers from our youth until now, both we and our forefathers, in order that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, because every herder of sheep is a detestable thing to Egypt." Strange. All right, family.